Okay, and you know what? I think we're just going to kind of move on here to a few other books here. Um, wow, that package really blew me away. So anyway, found some more free comic book day books I didn't put in the last video because they fell behind uh, the armoire over here. They're all kind of bent now and everything. That's all right. I'm gonna make this a quick one. Atomic Robo, which I actually like that cover, with a Moon Girl and Foster Broussard or something in there. I feel like it's got a little bit of a steampunk feel, even though it says atomic. So I'll read them and see what's going on. Alright, Geronimo Stilton with the Smurfs. And what I liked about this is Smurfs started in the late 50s in France by an artist named Peyo. And I believe these are some of his original comic strips in here for you. America didn't really see the Smurfs until the 80s with the cartoon. And Smurfs actually had such high ratings. It was the beginning of the death of Saturday mornings, because all the kids were watching the Smurfs and they kept expanding the Smurfs, and nobody was watching Saturday morning cartoons on CBS or ABC, and it slowly started killing off. Started with Super Friends and everything went downhill from there until Saved by the Bell popped up and on NBC also. And Saturday mornings just kept declining. Thank goodness for WB and Fox for keeping the dream alive there for so many years. Bongo Comics for Free Comic Book Day. I always like a good bongo. Comic book, the fat comic book man there doing an Uncle Scrooge in his comics. Discovery put out Dinosaurs, Prehistoric Predators, and Top 10 Deadliest Shark Attacks. That'll be cool. Now I was really excited about this. I believe this reprints some of the first Mickey Mouse strips. Big wraparound cover. That day at the dog races. So I'm looking forward to that. Black and white, of course. Now, when Cacti 88 contacted me and we talked a little bit there, I told him I'd be trying to find some books that he wanted, that he was looking for, his 80s G.I. Joe and Transformers. So I ended up getting my butt back up to the comic book shop that has the quarter comics. Well, sadly enough, they did not have Transformers, they did not have G.I. Joe, so I want to keep looking for a few things. I found a few things that I had in my collection that I've already contacted him about. But I ended up going through the quarter comics again in their bins. It actually found 3 or 4 boxes they had stuffed underneath the table that I had never been able to get through before. So these are more quarter comics. A trade from 1993, and it reprints the miniseries, a few issues of the Savage Dragon comic, and what Erik Larsen did in this to make it worth the money, not only did he put sketches in it, but he also rearranged the pages in more of a chronological order of making it different than what came out on the newsstand, and he added pages, so there's new stuff in this. $10 from this thing came out. Got it for a quarter. Never opened. I've already kind of looked at it, and it seems, I don't know what was going on with this comic book shop or where they got these books, but all these graphic novels and stuff they have for a quarter have never been opened. Open Space #1. Hopefully that's some good sci-fi. I've read one issue of this. And this has, I have no idea what's in it, but it came out in 1989, and it's brand new. Great cover, though. I kind of wonder if that's a Perez or not. I'll have to get in there and read and look at that. But anyway, great stuff. Looks intriguing. I was excited to find this. I might actually try to get this. Topps came out in the 90s. Jim Salicrup of Spider-Man fame. He was editor on Spider-Man when Todd McFarlane hit and stuff. Apparently went to Topps and was editor-in-chief in the early 90s. And I never saw this. This is Ray Bradbury Comics. And as you can see up there, Mike Mignola and Dave McKean all worked on this book. I went to flip through it to see what I could do, if I wanted it or not. It's never been opened. It's still polybagged. But it gives you a little bit of artwork that's in there. Some things coming out. So much Ray Mignola. Looking forward to reading that one. Breed, it came out with by this company Bravura, by Malibu, and I think this was a replacement of creator-owned titles to replace Image when they left Malibu. Image Comics started out at Malibu, and I'm not quite sure if that's right or not. Yeah, Malibu Comics did this, but anyway, Jim Starlin came over with Breed, and what's amazing is Breed started about the same time Hellboy hit, and they're both about demons. This is about a half demon, and you need to check out the Breed. Third volume is finally coming out after something like maybe 15 years of part 2. Part 1 is 6 issues, Breed 2 is 6 issues, and now Breed 3 is coming out. And I heard that these books are coming out in hardback. Jim Starlin is on my Facebook, and he posted on there saying that he just found out himself that Image is going to be releasing Breed 1 and 2 in hardback, and it was news to him. Great series, very very 70s. Vietnam's in it, and I think it's partly some of the acid use in it and stuff. It makes it partly biographical, if you will. All right, moving on. Dark Water number 2 says first part of the 6-issue series. I got number 1 of this for years. Never seen any issues other than that number 1, and ran across this, and if it's good, I'll probably try to track down the other 4 or more. I'll look up, see how many there were. Great cartoon. It came out in 1991. It was chronological, Simon Bisley's Scrapbook from 1990. Never been opened. This was a quarter also, and Simon Bisley, I became a fan of his stuff from Lobo and at DC, and checked out a few other things that he's had over the years. Real excited to get into this one. Again, it's kind of more of a graphic novel, and it's from a company called Atomica, which I never heard of. 3 mighty stories, 5 badass pinups, one hell of a guy. So we'll see what goes on in here. Alright, about to get all my Alan Davis Excaliburs, number 51. New look, new logo, new species, number 51. So I'm really have to, it mocks issue 1. These would have been the War Wolves. I think that's what they were called, but they're apparently, British punks, it looks like. Okay, looking forward to Alan Davis, is always good. Number 3 of the Nightcrawler miniseries. I now have all of them. I now can read the rest of them. Excited about that. Now the Black Terror here is in public domain. So over the years there's been a couple versions of him. Now as you can see, this originally sold for $4.50. These came out in the 80s. I'm pretty sure this is Epic Comics, but these have never been opened. I've got book 1. Book 2 and book 3. These are by Bo Smith and Chuck Dixon writing, I believe. Chuck Dixon's done everything and everybody, and a guy named Ed Brereton, who does some great painted work. So that's not quite in order. So hopefully there's just 3 books in this. If not, there's enough reading here. Got those for $0.25. Now Innovation Comics did not last a long time, but I love the Lost in Space series they did in the early 90s. Bill Mumy came on, who was Will Robinson on the show, and he helped out on it. And these are the continuing stories of Lost in Space. This is what happens as they just, what was it? They've been around for what, 3 or 4 seasons, 3 seasons back in the 60s, and this is them still traveling in space. Kind of picks up a few years after the show was canceled. Yeah, written by Bill Mumy, who is Will Robinson. He wrote these. This is number 17. I've got maybe 3 or 4 other issues of this, but I definitely plan on tracking these down. Great stuff. There's Judy. Great stuff. Alright. This is also from Eclipse Comics. Chuck Dixon did this. This is D.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, book 3 of 3. Kurt Busiek also did some Hobbit. I thought this was it, but I think Kurt Busiek was years later. Beautiful artwork in this. Definitely going to track down the rest of these. See if we can find a picture of a little Smog there. That is very nice. Alright, and for $0.25 we also got Marvel Universe Mystic Arcana. I usually get I have a big box of Who's Who and Marvel Universe stuff, and I get these as I can. Now, they kind of categorize these guys. They've had several Other ones I got another one of the monsters, where it's traditional monsters, what Marvel worked on with Werewolf and Frankenstein, and these are the more sorcerer and wizard types and voodoo types. I think most of these guys pretty much bought Doctor Strange. Alright, some newer books. Astro City, Dark Age. This is number 3 of book 3. This was Dark Age is a 12-issue set that he broke up into 3 4-issue miniseries to tell the whole story. It's a pair of brothers grown up through the 70s, and it just all ties them together. Here's number 2 of that one. Really needed this. I think out of this I'm missing maybe 6 of it out of 12 now. Just hard to find around here. Got this for $0.25. Powers. I was in the Powers through the first series, and when they became Icon, I think I lasted maybe another year on it. Even though it's Bendis, this is Mike Oeming doing most of the writing in this, I believe, and it's a caveman story. You throw out a caveman, I'm there. A little blue there. Cave women, cavemen. Okay. I had to pick this up. They have a few more issues I'm not going to get, but in issue 76, Eric Larson ended up turning the Savage Dragon in a little run here little arc called This Savage World, and this is the first issue, and it's a big tribute to Kamandi. He wakes up in more or less Kamandi's world. The Savage World. And I'm a huge Kamandi fan. Huge. Super Grey Hulk out there knows that, and big tribute to, pretty much anybody knows my son, anybody who's ever heard me talk about comics, I always bring up Kamandi every chance I get. Actually, it seems like there was a page here where Kamandi was in the background running, but he did just enough to where he couldn't get sued. It's in one of the chapters. Now, I already have this in trade, and it's the first book over. It's the first, I don't know, 6 issues I think of it, and I think he was in that Savage World for quite a while. So yeah. Yeah, this covers up to issue 80, and this is issue 76, so I think that was the first trade. Great stuff. Okay, I like Eric Powell from The Goon. I cannot believe I found this for $0.25. First issue of Chimichanga. No idea what to tell you yet. I need to read this. But Eric Powell always delivers. And even though he's known for The Goon, you really need to check out his Billy the Kid and miniseries. He's had 2 of them. I had the first one. Really great stuff. Great stuff. And this was the most awesome issue. 2001 A Space Odyssey, number 1 by Kirby for $0.25. Alright, that ran a little bit longer than I thought, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And, enjoy your weekend, and I'll probably post another video tomorrow on a few things. Alright, have a good night.